Hey guys, welcome to Blades and Bone. This is my first video. On this channel we'll be looking at knives, mainly pocket knives, here and there fixed blade, but mainly pocket knives. And we'll also be looking at chilies, everything chili. So whether that be growing chilies, eating chilies, suffering through the pain, yeah, all of that, all of those kinds of things, chilies and knives. Why those two things? Well, those are my two passions. Yeah, but today we have a Vosteed. So I've already opened this. It's not an unboxing. I've already opened this, so it's more like a review. And this is the box that it came in. This is everything that it came with. So if we start opening, we'll see that it comes in a super nice hard case. I've bought quite a few other knives and none of them have came in a hard case. I mean, the Spyderco Tenacious in S35 VN comes in just a little box. Spyderco doesn't do anything really for packaging. And I've bought other Vosteeds as well, not as premium as this, but this one came in a very nice hard case. I assume it's dust proof and shock proof, and I don't know about waterproof, but yeah, hopefully we don't have to find out any ever. So if we open it up, we have the Thunderbird. We'll take a look at that just now. So it always, Vosteeds always, well, I wouldn't say always, but usually they come with a patch. What's very cool is the Thunderbird part is glow in the dark, which I thought was really cool. So we have the patch, we have the user manual, which no one ever really reads. I wouldn't say it's a maintenance manual, to be specific. We have the sticker, which is quite cool as well. And then we have a microfiber cloth. So I thought the goodie bag was quite cool. Yeah, it just adds to the value of the knife. So this box is also quite nifty. If you can obviously put this knife in here and it won't be, it fits quite well. But the bottom part of this foam, you can, I'm not sure if you can see that. So you can actually take these small little pieces out and you can put a bigger knife in here or a thicker knife and it won't be a problem. So I can see there are small little, it's almost like an O-ring, obviously just not an O-ring, but it's a rubber part. So I assume that this would be waterproof. I'm assuming, though I haven't tested it. So that's the case that it came in with. Quite cool, I think. Okay, now to the knife. This is the Vosteed Thunderbird in Damascus. So this is I'm not sure what they call it on the website, but it's almost like a fiery lava kind of Damascus, which is super cool. This is definitely, you do get them in other colors, like there's one with blue. I'm not sure about the other colors, all the other colors, but this one stood out for me. Got it from the Knife Guy, which is one of the very few, but also one of the best knife sellers or knife retailers in South Africa. Okay, so here we got the knife. It's in S35 VN. You can see there we have the Thunderbird, and it's from Vosteed. We'll start from head to toe. It's a nice, so it's a compound ground, nice extended harpoon with a thumb hole for Spidey with a thumb hole for Spidey flick. Does feel like a hollow ground. Yeah, it's a hollow ground. I think you guys can see it there. Yes, it's a hollow ground. And then I've polished the bevel, but it's my first time polishing, so yeah, it didn't come out perfect, but it did come out very nicely. There you go. So this is a button lock in G10 and S35 VN steel. Yeah, the S35 VN is quite nice. It has a nice big finger trowel here, and this front flipper part, well, that's probably the front flipper. This front flipper part of the handle and the blade it actually reinforces your grip there, which is quite nice. Plenty of space to grind, to sharpen your blade, and nice jimping here. The harpoon style blade, it does create quite a nice ramp if you choke up on the blade. Otherwise you would, your hands would be there and your thumb would be on the jimping, which is very nicely done. Okay, so that's the blade. Then, as I've mentioned, this is a button lock. The button lock it works well. It's my first button lock, but I have found that when you, okay, let's try and do it hard. When you open it up with force, I don't know if you guys heard that, but there is some lock stick. I don't know if you heard it. So this does run on ball bearings. I'm not sure if they are ceramic ball bearings or just normal metal ball bearings, but they are very nice. Very, very smooth. I did have to adjust the pivot a little bit when I received the knife, but even though I've adjusted the pivot, the blade is, I'd say it's centered. It's very, yeah, it's perfect. Okay, so we do have the pocket clip here, which is a stainless steel pocket clip, some kind of metal at least, with the Vosteed logo. This pocket clip is very springy, if I can put it like that, which is a good thing. Believe it or not, it's a good thing. Yeah, it goes into the pocket very, very nicely, smoothly, comes out of the pocket nicely, and these are vertical. Well, if you put if you have the knife like this, those would be, let's have it like this. So we have horizontal lines, horizontal grooves that the pocket clip rides on, which is a good thing. If they were vertical, they would probably chew up your pocket, and yeah, like Spyderco tenacious scales, those chew up your pocket badly. So we have a brass backspacer with a lanyard hole, which is, I don't really have a use for lanyard holes because the knife has a pocket clip, which means the knife is going to go into your pocket, and you don't. Yeah, I don't really know why lanyard holes even exist, but nonetheless, there it is. So what else? The pocket clip is reversible, and I think so. I think it's T6 and T8 hardware. Yeah, we have nice jimping on the front flipper, which goes all the way around, and then we have jimping on the back flipper as well that goes all the way around. This jimping is done very, very nicely. It's narrow jimping, and it hasn't been smoothed out. It's quite rough. Not to the extent where you're going to hurt your finger, but it's rough enough. So there we go. We can see nice action there. The camera stand. The deployment works well for all of the deployment methods. The only one that I'm actually struggling with, and I'm not sure if it's a me problem or if it's the knife, but I think it's the geometry of this thumb hole. So I do get it right, but it's not a very powerful deployment method, not for me at least. Maybe for a right-handed person, I don't know. I'm left-handed, so it's my dumb hand anyway. Okay, so it does work. All of the deployment methods work very well. Here you can hear the lock stick. Yeah. So I'm not sure how to get rid of the lock stick, but it does bother me a little bit. But it's not something detrimental. Like it doesn't influence the overall build and quality. It's just a small little nitpick. So here you can see the liners on the inside. The steel liners have been milled out for weight reduction, and yeah, this knife is it has a nice weight to it, and I think it's mainly due to, it is a full-size pocket knife. Apart from that, I think it's mainly due to the Damascus. I do think, well, it's a personal preference, but Damascus it feels like more quality to me. in comparison with my Carter. Well, my Carter, my Carter or my Carter, tomato, right? So my Carter, it does feel, yeah, I actually don't like the feeling of my Carter unless it's been like broken in and it starts getting almost, it doesn't get filled up. I suppose it gets filled up with the oil from your hands, and yeah, so before that it feels cheap to me, but as soon as it gets, you know, filled up with the oil from your hands, then it starts feeling like a quality kind of material. But G mask is just, it just feels like quality from the start. So let's do an overall length and blade length, handle length. So there we've got, what's that, almost like 21. It looks a little bit different on the camera, but it's 21 centimeters. Then the cutting edge is going to be 8.5 centimeters ish. Yeah, probably 8.5. And then we've got the handle length, which is just, it's 11.8 centimeters. So then the action is amazing. It runs on, I actually think it's steel ball bearings, but it runs very, very smoothly. It's awesome. The button lock works very well. Again, it's just the lock stick there. You can actually just open it by throwing it as well. And then the cons are, I would say, the detent is a little bit light. It's on the lighter side, but that is a thing with front flippers. You don't want the detent to be too strong, because then you're never going to get the front flipper open. I have the Vosteed Labrador, the full size one, and that front flipper is, it destroys your finger if you don't do it right, and you can only do it so many times until your finger gets destroyed anyway. So this detent is perfect. Well, it could be a little bit stronger, I would say, but it does work very well still. Maybe it's just a personal preference. Overall, I would say this is an excellent knife. It's a very, very nice knife. It's one of my favorite EDCs, and yeah, you guys will see what else I have. But for now, it's one video at a time, one video a week, hopefully. Hopefully I can get to that. But this is one of the, and it's a fidget toy. It's a fidget magnet. This thing, because of the many deployment methods, it works, and you can play and procrastinate with it. Quite some. Well, guys, that's the video. Stay burning.